Welcome to Health Freedom Radio with Jessica Steele and Jordan Fisher. Whole health conversations to elevate your life, your health, your wealth, and your legacy. Learn with us, then share with others.
We are presenting today on behalf of Dr. Tia Jolie Phillips. This training is for the worldwide pure marketing community and anyone interested in healthier skin and building income through better skincare solutions.
Thank you. It's really great to be here to dive into this.
Yeah, we are so glad to have you. And, setting the stage for this, I'm thinking earlier, if you were to just walk into the average home right now, right, bypass the kitchen, head straight into the bathroom, and just open that cabinet under the sink.
Oh, yeah. It's a mess.
It is. You wouldn't just find a collection of cosmetics. You would find, like, a microscopic battlefield.
That is the perfect word for it, honestly. A battlefield.
Right. Because you look in there and you'd see hundreds, or sometimes thousands of dollars worth of isolated serums and creams and cleansers, and they are, chemically speaking, completely at war with each other.
Exactly. And the consumer has no idea.
None at all. So today in this deep dive, we're really looking at why your client's so-called routine is actually just a state of sheer chemical chaos, and how a totally different approach to the biology of the skin can just change everything. So welcome to you, the listener.
Absolutely.
Because whether you're prepping for a client consultation, or you're looking to expand your practice, or maybe you're just, incredibly curious about what actually works in the beauty market, you are in the exact right place.
Yeah, and we are treating you today as the smart, business-minded professional that you are.
Exactly. Over the course of this deep dive, our entire mission is to equip you with the practical knowledge you need to confidently position the Sensi beauty line. We want you to understand the actual mechanisms behind its benefits, handle those really tough client objections, and ultimately grow your business within the broader Live Pure ecosystem.
And, the necessity of this specific conversation becomes super obvious the second you look at the reality of the current beauty landscape.
Oh, it's so overwhelming.
Right. The market today is not just crowded. It is fundamentally broken. It relies almost entirely on harsh synthetic interventions or, these incredibly surface-level illusions.
Yeah, people just want the quick fix.
Exactly. We see consumers constantly chasing these aggressive active ingredients. The ones high-percentage retinols, super potent chemical peels, these really stripping acids.
The ones that promise overnight results.
Right, because they think that aggressively attacking the skin is the only way to anti-age or clear up blemishes. But this approach just creates this vicious cycle of barrier destruction and temporary repair.
It's just diagnostic muddy waters out there. Consumers are totally exhausted. Like, think about the psychology of your clients for a second. They scroll social media, they see some influencer raving about a miracle serum, and boom, they buy it.
Of course they do.
And then, like next week, another influencer pushes a potent exfoliating acid.
Yeah.
So they buy that too.
And then they mix them.
Yes. They slap the serum right on top of the acid. They experience this massive breakout or, literal chemical burn. And then they run out to buy a heavy pore-clogging cream to fix the dryness they just caused themselves.
It's maddening. They might get a temporary sort of superficial glow because they've essentially just stripped off the top layer of their face.
Right, which sounds terrifying when you say it out loud.
Because it is. But there are zero lasting results. And Sensia is positioned as the literal antidote to that specific exhaustion.
Which is such a relief.
It really is. It's a clean, system-based K-beauty approach.
Right.
And it focuses heavily on consistency, establishing a true biological routine, and actually restoring the skin's actual function.
And that right there, that is the core competitive difference that you, the brand partner, have to understand to share this effectively. You're not just selling another product.
No, not at all.
You are completely upending the current consumer model of skincare. The contrast we're looking at here is synergy versus isolation.
That's the exact phrase to remember. Synergy versus isolation. Because the typical skincare model is built entirely on selling isolated heroes.
Like the one miracle ingredient.
Exactly. A company will market this hyped-up cleanser, right, with a massive advertising budget. Meanwhile, some totally different company pushes a miracle moisturizer.
And people buy both.
They do. But These formulations are created in total isolation. They're designed only to address the surface appearance, and they have absolutely zero chemical or biological relationship to the products applied right before or right after them.
Which is where consumer behavior is just genuinely fascinating to me. Because it's kind of comparable to a person deciding they want to build the ultimate performance car.
Right. Oh, I love this analogy.
It's so accurate, though. They buy a steering column from Ford, they grab a complex transmission system from Toyota, and then an engine block from BMW. And they drag all these highly engineered, super expensive parts into their garage, throw them on the floor, and then they're just completely bewildered when they don't magically assemble into a functioning vehicle.
Right. They're like, why isn't this driving?
Exactly. And in fact, the computer systems in the BMW engine actively reject the Toyota transmission. They don't talk to each other.
And that is exactly what is happening on a cellular level on the consumer's face.
Yes.
They buy this isolated cleanser that completely obliterates the skin's natural pH. And then right after that, they apply a highly active vitamin C serum that actually requires a specific pH to even penetrate the skin.
So they just cancel each other out.
Worse, the ingredients actively repel or neutralize each other. You're literally pouring money down the drain while irritating your skin.
So taking that mechanical analogy a step further, Sensia is the fully engineered, completed vehicle. You buy the whole car.
Exactly. Sensia teaches a comprehensive routine. It supports the actual biological requirements of the skin, which are, hydration, balance, protection, and texture.
Like a whole picture approach.
Right. It operates on the scientific premise that healthy skin is never the result of isolated reactive treatments applied to the surface. Optimal skin health is the cumulative outcome of a sequenced, synergistic protocol. A routine that respects and works directly with the skin's biological architecture.
But, there is a crucial line to walk here for the professional listening today. You really don't need a doctorate in biochemistry to share this system.
Oh, absolutely not. Please don't try to be a biochemist.
Right. If you sit across from a new client and just start lecturing them about, like, cellular mitosis and lipid synthesis, their eyes are just going to glaze over instantly.
They will completely check out. You have to teach the benefits by focusing on the tangible experience.
Yes. Focus on the feeling.
Exactly. You focus on how the skin physically feels and visibly looks when it is supported by a holistic routine.
Yeah.
You are selling the experience of a system that finally works in harmony.
Which is what people actually want. They want to know it feels good.
Right. You are offering the promise of skin that feels deeply clean without feeling tight, skin that's softer, plumper, and genuinely cared for.
The science is there, but it's behind the scenes.
Exactly. The clinical rigor is absolutely present in the formulations. The specific peptides, the ceramides, the botanical extracts. But the client only needs to experience the result. You sell the coherence of the system, not the textbook breakdown of the chemistry.
That being said, we do need to look under the hood just a little bit for their brand partners listening.
Sure.
We need to know why it works.
Right. If the system itself is the core differentiator, how do these layers mechanically interact? We need to walk through the sequence to prove why the specific order matters.
Because people will definitely ask.
Oh, they always do. The immediate cynical assumption from a consumer is that, a multi-step system is just a clever marketing gimmick, right? Just to force them to buy 4 bottles instead of 1.
Which is a fair assumption given how the industry usually operates. But with Sensia, the sequence is everything. It is a highly elegant, biologically logical protocol that literally mimics the skin's natural protective mechanisms. Okay, so let's break that down. Step 1.
Right. Step 1 is cleansing, and that utilizes the pure foam cleanser. Its biological job is preparation.
Prepping the canvas.
Exactly. It must remove metabolic waste, excess sebum, and all those environmental pollutants we accumulate throughout the day. But the mechanism of how it does this is the real differentiator. It cleanses without stripping the acid mantle.
Okay, let's pause on the acid mantle for a second, because that term gets thrown around in marketing copy a lot, usually without any real explanation.
It really does.
The way I like to think of the acid mantle as the bouncer at the door of a super exclusive club.
I use that same analogy all the time. It's perfect.
It makes so much sense. Its entire job is to keep the riffraff out,
Yeah.
right? The harmful bacteria, the environmental toxins, the allergens. But at the same time, it keeps the VIPs, like your natural moisture and essential lipids, safely inside the club.
Right.
So when a client uses a cheap drugstore cleanser packed with harsh sulfates, they aren't just cleaning the club, they're literally firing the bouncer.
They're leaving the front door wide open.
Exactly. They leave the skin completely defenseless and alkaline, which is a state of total panic for the epidermis,
And when the skin panics, it immediately attempts to overcompensate.
because it knows it's unprotected.
Right. So it pumps out excess oil to try and artificially recreate that protective barrier. And that leads to massive congestion and breakouts, even as the deeper layers of the skin are becoming desperately dehydrated.
It's the classic oily on top, dry underneath complaint we hear all the time.
Exactly. Now, the Pure Foam Cleanser prevents this panic response. It uses natural surfactants derived from coconut and soap bark. These ingredients effectively dissolve the waste and pollution, but they do it without disrupting that delicate acidic pH of the bouncer,
So you cleanse the environment without causing that tight, squeaky clean feeling.
which is so important to explain to clients. That tight feeling, that is not a sign of cleanliness.
No.
It is the immediate physical sensation of barrier damage.
And if you strip the skin's natural defenses in step 1, literally every single expensive serum or cream you apply in steps 2, 3, and 4 is just doing frantic damage control.
You're just working backwards.
Right. You are forcing your products to fight this massive uphill battle just to get the skin back to baseline. You're not even improving the skin at that point.
Exactly, because you trigger a process called transepidermal water loss the second that barrier is compromised.
Hold on, let's look at that. Transepidermal water loss, or TEWL. We see this acronym in clinical studies constantly.
Yeah.
But what does that actually look like in the mirror for the everyday client?
Great question. It looks like dullness. It looks like fine lines that magically seem more pronounced by midday.
Oh, I hate that. When your makeup just settles into every line.
That's TEWL right there. It causes flakiness and just a general lack of bounce or vitality in the skin.
So it's just water escaping.
Basically, transepidermal water loss is simply the passive evaporation of water from the deeper layers of the skin right out into the atmosphere, all because that protective surface seal was broken in step 1.
So preserving that seal in step 1 leads us directly to the necessity of step 2, which is refreshing.
Right. And this step utilizes the Pure Toner, and we incorporate the Miracle Peptivolume Mist here as well.
Okay, so what's the goal here mechanically?
The mechanical goal of this step is to forcefully flood the skin with hydration. The toner creates this immediate, incredibly dense moisture reservoir in the stratum corneum, which is the outermost layer of dead skin cells.
Okay, visualize this. Imagine taking a bone-dry, rigid, hard sponge and pouring a drop of thick, expensive dish soap right on it.
It doesn't do anything.
Right, the soap just sits on the surface. It doesn't penetrate. It just globs there. But if you take that same sponge, run it under the faucet first, wring it out so it's damp and pliable, and then add the soap, the sponge immediately absorbs it deeply.
That is exactly what is happening on your face.
Yeah.
The toner and the mist are dampening the sponge.
They're prepping the tissue.
Yes. They are increasing the skin's internal water content so that the cellular matrix becomes highly receptive to the active ingredients that follow.
And that structural change in the stratum corneum is vital, right?
Absolutely vital, because it prepares the skin for step 3, replenishing, which utilizes the pure emulsion.
Okay, so step 2 was water. Step 3 is what?
If step 2 was about flooding the skin with water, step 3 is about fortifying the skin with lipids.
Okay.
The emulsion delivers targeted support to the lipid barrier. It supplies these essential fatty acids, ceramides, and cholesterol directly to the intercellular matrix.
So going back to analogies, think of the skin cells like a densely woven high-tech camping tent.
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
Right. The toner provides the necessary internal environment. It sets everything up. But the emulsion is the waterproofing treatment you apply to the actual fabric of the tent.
Oh, that's good.
It creates this flexible, highly durable seal that ensures the environment inside remains perfectly stable, regardless of a rainstorm or what's happening outside.
Exactly. It locks the water from step 2 inside the skin and physically blocks it from evaporating.
Which totally sets the stage for the final daily step.
Right, step 4, sealing. This is the Pure Cream, and honestly, it is arguably the most sophisticated formulation in the entire sequence.
Really? Why is that?
Because it utilizes an elastic net delivery system.
Okay, an elastic net sounds incredibly sci-fi.
Yeah.
What is physically happening on the skin when someone rubs this cream in?
It is kind of sci-fi. So the cream contains high molecular weight ingredients, and when you apply them, they literally link together on the surface of the skin to form a microscopic, physical, cross-hatched mesh.
Like an actual net?
Like an actual invisible net. And this net acts as a breathable shield. It traps the low molecular weight peptides and plant extracts beneath it.
Oh, wow.
Right. So because these active ingredients are trapped against the skin by the net, they can't evaporate upward into the air. They are forced downward.
There's nowhere else to go.
Exactly. They are driven deep into the dermal layer where they can nourish the fibroblasts.
And just to clarify, the fibroblasts being the microscopic factories inside our skin that manufacture our collagen and elastin.
You got it.
So the net is essentially barricading the exits, forcing all those amazing anti-aging ingredients to go to work exactly where the skin needs them most, and simultaneously locking in all the hydration and lipids from steps 2 and 3.
It's brilliant chemistry, and we also cannot overlook the enhancement step, which is the pure mask.
Right, the mask isn't an everyday thing.
No, it's an intensive add-on to the daily routine. It's this beautiful bamboo-derived sheet mask that delivers an extreme dose of restorative ingredients. And the fascinating mechanism here is its focus on filigrin activation.
Filigrin. Okay, break that down for us, sure.
Sure. Filigrin is a complex protein naturally found in the skin, and as it breaks down, it turns into amino acids. These amino acids act as the skin's internal, natural moisturizing factors.
So they attract water.
Exactly. They're literally biological water magnets. The mask stimulates the skin's own natural production of these water magnets, so it's this intensive, twice-weekly biological boost.
That is amazing. So the overarching revelation here for everyone listening is that the true power of Sensia lies entirely in its mechanical synergy.
Entirely.
Every single step actively alters the skin to make the next step chemically possible. Like cleansing leaves the bouncer intact, the toner and mist dampen the sponge, the emulsion waterproofs the tent, and the cream casts that elastic net to force ingredients deep into the tissue.
And then the mask upgrades the internal water magnet factory.
Exactly. You simply cannot skip a step, grab some random drugstore moisturizer, and expect to achieve the same architectural result. It's just chemically impossible.
And that coherence gives the brand partner an immense advantage in the marketplace.
Huge advantage.
You aren't just pitching a random assortment of trendy lotions, you are offering a biological solution to a very common problem.
Right, but that understanding definitely demands a shift in strategy. Like, who exactly do you approach with this information, and what language do you actually use to open the door?
Let's absolutely move from the cellular biology to the practical reality of building the business.
Yeah. Who is the ideal prospect for Sensia Beauty?
Well, the broader market is essentially unlimited. I mean, barrier damage is a universal epidemic right now. Almost everyone has it.
Sad, but true.
But for targeted, fast growth, your ideal prospects are individuals already actively investing in premium skincare.
People who are already spending the money.
Right. You want to identify K-beauty enthusiasts who already understand the philosophy of layering. You want clean beauty advocates who are searching for non-toxic efficacy. And clients intensely focused on aging support.
What about wellness spaces?
Oh, perfect target. The system is perfectly aligned for wellness clients who view skin as an extension of their internal health, spa and salon regulars who really respect professional-grade protocols, gift buyers looking for a complete, gorgeous luxury package, and, of course, fellow entrepreneurs who will immediately grasp the structural advantage of the business model.
Okay, but approaching those prospects can trigger some serious imposter syndrome, especially if you aren't a master esthetician with a decade of clinical experience, you know.
Oh, completely. It can be intimidating.
We need practical, boots-on-the-ground conversational language. What are the specific phrases our listeners should be utilizing right now to feel confident?
The cardinal rule, and I cannot stress this enough, is to keep the conversation completely free of clinical jargon.
No talking about stratum corneum.
Exactly. No science lectures. You need easy, highly memorable phrases that cut through the noise. When you first introduce the line, you don't talk about peptides. You simply say, "This is a complete skincare system."
Nice and simple.
Very simple. And when they ask how it's different from their current random cream, you say, "It works in layers."
Okay. It works in layers.
Right. And when you are exploring their current frustrations with their skin, use this exact phrase. Most people need a better routine, not more products.
Oh, I love that. Most people need a better routine, not more products. That phrase is a tactical masterstroke.
Because it resonates immediately.
It totally validates the exhaustion we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Because they all have cabinets full of half-used, failed experiments. Okay, let's pressure test this with some gritty role play. Let's do it.
Okay, I'm ready.
I am going to play devil's advocate. I'll be your prospective client. I'm looking at this beautiful 4-step Sensia system, but I'm highly skeptical.
Naturally.
Right. So I say to you, listen, This looks incredibly luxurious, but I buy my cleanser at the drugstore for like $8, and I grab whatever moisturizer is on sale at the grocery store. I am not spending hundreds of dollars on 4 steps I frankly don't have the time for. It's just way too expensive. What do you actually say to me?
Okay, so the instinct for a lot of people is to get defensive or to start heavily discounting right away, which totally devalues the system.
Right, you don't want to do that.
No. Instead, we pivot to the reality of their current spending. So I would look at you and say, I completely understand keeping a close eye on the budget, but if we were to open the cabinet under your bathroom sink right now and add up the cost of the $8 cleansers, the $20 serums, and the $50 creams from 5 different brands that you've used twice and abandoned because they caused a breakout or just didn't work, how much money is sitting in that graveyard of products?
Wow. Ouch, but so true.
Right. And then I'd say Sensia replaces that endless cycle of expensive trial and error with a highly coordinated, cost-effective system. You are no longer gambling on random bottles. You are investing in a result.
That is so good. You completely reframe the concept of expense.
Yeah.
You make their current quote-unquote cheap habit look like an inefficient waste of money and position Sensia as the logical, economical solution.
Because it is.
Okay, let's hit the second major roadblock. I look at the system and I say, I really appreciate the science behind this, but I'm good. I already have a strict skincare routine that I do every single night, and I don't want to mess up what I have going on.
And honestly, that is actually the ideal scenario.
Really? Why?
Because it instantly opens a diagnostic dialogue. I would simply ask you, that shows incredible dedication. Do you absolutely love your current results?
So that's a trap. The trap is officially set.
It is.
Because almost nobody over the age of 25 absolutely loves their skin. They will inevitably hedge. They'll say, well, it's mostly fine, but I still have these stubborn dry patches around my nose. Or I'm doing everything right, but I'm still dealing with this underlying redness that won't fade.
Exactly. And that admission of a lingering issue is your gateway. That is when you respond, that persistent redness is exactly why I'm sharing Essentia. A lot of routines treat the surface but ignore the barrier, which leaves those underlying issues completely unresolved. Sensia supports the skin's actual biology to heal that irritation from the foundation up.
It's such a gentle pivot.
Right. The guiding philosophy here is paramount. Your role is to educate, never to pressure.
Never pressure.
If the prospect feels unsure or resistant, you simply direct them to learn more about the philosophy of the system. The professional's role is to ask insightful questions, introduce the concept of synergistic skincare, and guide people to educational resources. You always prioritize education over any form of aggressive, high-pressure sales tactics.
So you act as a guide, not a typical salesperson. And taking that pressure off transforms the entire interaction from a stressful pitch into a genuinely helpful consultation.
It feels better for everyone involved.
It really does.
Yeah.
Now, guiding clients to healthier skin is deeply rewarding on an emotional level, obviously. But we have to address the financial architecture here.
Of course.
How does this biological system actually translate into a sustainable, scalable income for the professional listening?
Well, the architecture of the financial opportunity is just as meticulously engineered as the physical skincare formulations. Dr. Phillips coined a specific term for this compensation architecture, the hybrid affiliate program.
The hybrid affiliate program. Okay.
Yes. And this model was constructed specifically to eradicate the massive burnout that wellness professionals face when they are forced to rely on one-time transactional sales.
Oh, the burnout is so real. In the traditional retail model, you hustle to sell a product, you get paid your margin once, and then on the first of the month, your income resets to absolute zero.
Yes. You have to go hunt for a brand new customer just to survive the month.
It is the retail hamster wheel. You are constantly sprinting, but your business never actually compounds.
Right.
You're only ever as secure as your last individual sale.
Exactly. And the hybrid affiliate program dismantles that treadmill by merging 2 distinct economic engines, the front-end acquisition and the back-end retention.
Okay, let's look at the front end first.
Right. Looking at the front end, when you successfully guide a new retail sale, you can earn up to a 45% commission.
45%? That's massive.
It is. That figure is composed of a 25% retail margin, which is just the standard spread between the wholesale price and the retail price, combined with a 20% first-order bonus.
So the immediate upfront financial reward for introducing a client to the system is highly lucrative. It totally solves the immediate need for cash flow.
Right. Pays the bills today.
But I've seen that movie before in this industry. You hustle for a big upfront cut, but if there's no back end, you are still stuck on that hamster wheel. How does the system actually build long-term walkaway security?
This is the best part. The life-changing power of this model is entirely located in the back end, the customer retention bonus. This is where the biology of the product drives the economics of the business.
Okay, how so?
Because the Sensia system actually functions mechanically, because it genuinely repairs the lipid barrier and delivers these visible, tactile results we talked about, it drives an intensely loyal, repeat purchase behavior. We're looking at a noted 83% retention rate.
Wait, I really want to stop and highlight that number, 83%.
Yeah, 83%.
An 83% retention rate in the cosmetics industry, an industry defined by consumers constantly chasing the newest shiny object, is staggering.
It is staggering, and it completely changes the math of your livelihood, because when your clients deplete their system, they reorder month after month, year after year, and you earn a compounding percentage on that ongoing volume.
This is the genius of the structural alignment. You are structurally rewarded for the quality and integrity of your client relationships, not just the sheer exhausting volume of new acquisitions.
Exactly.
Because the multi-step system is consistently consumed and then subsequently reordered as a complete package, you do the hard work of educating and selling exactly once, but you get paid repeatedly. Your income base becomes cumulative, stacking month over month.
It creates a scenario where your financial interests are perfectly synchronized with your client's biological interests.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
It's true. You genuinely want them to achieve the healthiest skin of their lives, because when they experience that transformation, they never stop using the system, and your business grows passively in the background. It is an economic model that fundamentally honors the professional who invests the time to educate and guide their clients toward a lasting solution.
It really makes you wonder, honestly, if we have been getting skincare so fundamentally wrong by stubbornly isolating products for decades, violently treating the symptoms while just ignoring the holistic system of the skin, what other areas of our daily health and wellness are we sabotaging by treating them as isolated parts instead of a unified biological system?
Oh, that's a whole other deep dive right there.
It really is. It is a paradigm shift that goes far beyond the bathroom cabinet. So to wrap this up for the brand partner listening, your role is to initiate that shift. Guide, do not aggressively sell. Offer the definitive antidote to a confusing, chaotic beauty market. Keep your approach natural, concise, and focused on the practical experience. Emphasize the system, the mechanical synergy, and the tangible results.
Keep the core proposition clear in your mind. You are offering a clean, K-beauty-inspired, multi-layered system that finally honors the complex biology of the skin, and you are doing so within a business model that deeply honors the time, expertise, and dedication of the professionals sharing it.
Beautifully said. Go to sensibeauty.com, review every section for a deeper dive, and sign up for the newsletter to download the free ebook version of the Sensi Beauty Professional Compendium, normally a $25 professional resource.
You do not need to be a skincare expert. You need to know where the answers are, understand the Sensi Beauty system, and keep learning.
Thanks for listening to Health Freedom Radio with Jessica Steele and Jordan Fisher. We're glad you joined us, and we hope you enjoyed today's show. This episode was brought to you commercial-free thanks to our sponsor. Please take a moment now to listen to their message. We'll leave you with this. Your future is yours to own, and we're here to run with you every step of the way. Let's build it together. Subscribe, stay connected, and share this with someone who's ready to level up their life.
Live Pure is an American-based distribution system of online portals that give discounted access to clean, potent, natural, and ethically sourced healthy solutions for fat loss, muscle gain, clean skin care, immune system support, whole body cleanse, physiological balance, and performance support for athletes of all ages. Live Pure handpicks the best products and nutrients from world-class companies, always adding to their quickly growing wellness lineup that now includes Korean skincare, no-injection weight loss alternatives, medical-grade nutraceuticals listed in the physician's desk reference, and healthy coffee that rivals the world's best, but for only about $1 per cup. Listeners looking for youth, beauty, and better health can get wholesale pricing by visiting livepure.com/gateway and signing up for free as a preferred customer. Content creators, influencers, and virtual entrepreneurs looking for passive cash flows from emerging markets can profit from Live Pure's State of the Industry affiliate program, which provides up to 7 different payment vectors. Content creators aligned with Live Pure and Earth Angel Media will enjoy massive co-marketing benefits, including a personally branded website.